This year the play we are bringing to you is written by two young Spanish writers. Both have won the Catherine of Aragon Prize for Young Playwrights. And this initiative is supported by the Spanish department of the Open University, headed up by Mara Fuertes, and we'll be meeting her in just a moment. The first of the two writers who are contributing to this evening received her prize back in 2020, just before lockdown, I think. And now we have the opportunity to award the second one. It goes to a young man called Sebastián Moreno San Bruno for his short play Sonata of the Black Heart. First of all, Mara, could you come and join me, please? Mara, work this. Right, having hyped up Sebastián Moreno San Bruno, he can't be here tonight. It was a long way to fly, but all the way from Spain. But we are going to award it anyway, and we're going to award it to Maria, our director, Maria. She will collect the prize.
Sebastián, it's impossible but say to me, many, many thank you, England, many thank you for everybody who helped to this festival was possible. Thank you very much.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches, bienvenidos, bienvenidas. Hello, welcome everybody. As the head of Spanish of the University, it is such an honor to be present here today and support such an amazing initiative by Maria Graciani and her team in developing multiculturality and multilingualism in such a place like Bedford, which is already quite multilingual and multicultural. So this is at the very core of our values in the Spanish section of the Open University. So we are very thankful that Maria has made us part of this event and other events that are related to this and focus on education for several years now. And it is great that she brings us a little bit of my own culture and the Spanish culture to Bedford. So I can only encourage her to keep going, and I can guarantee as soon as we can, we will be here to support you. And thank you very much for this. Thank you.
So tonight we are talking about women. Now, women from the 16th century probably, I'm sure, had exactly the same emotions as women from the 21st century. They might have displayed them in a slightly different way in those days, but essentially, I think you'll make lots of connections with what you're going to see on stage. Judge for yourself to what degree the ladies from then were similar to now. And so we are looking at two women who united the royal houses of two European neighbours in the 16th century. And we're looking at the role that they played in history. We may not be teaching you that much that you don't know already, but it's still a good opportunity to tell their story and talk about how they influenced their time, that century 16. Right, I'm now going to make a very quick change, and you will see me in about 3 minutes as a forensic scientist of 5 centuries ago. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for coming. It's greatly supporting us. can't be. How many shades of darkness do you know? It's true. Her heart is as black as coal, like a tunnel, jet black like the night. If we don't start embalming right away, she will soon start to smell. The rest of the body is in perfect condition. Bodies are like abandoned suits. It's the end of the journey. Soul leaves and they are no longer useful. When you're gone, you don't need it anymore. It's easier embalming in January. The cold helps. Well, sometimes being close to death is the only way to feel alive. But look at this. Only the heart is black. It seems to be only affecting one organ, which means we can rule out poison. We can't be sure. How many types of poison do you know? How many shades of darkness can you distinguish? Do you think your heart can burn your chest without affecting the other organs? Do you think something can burn without loosening shape, without cracking or melting? Can that happen in a heart? Clearly, all that has happened in this heart. Please spray the body with lavender perfume and with essence of rose. There are some dead that smell like flowers, but almost all need flowers. It's impossible to break a body without laying down daffodils or lavender around the coffin. You can tell that she was once music, but how can there be so much localized darkness in the heart? Darkness is real, extends like the night, devouring its limits. Think about it. If you were in a tunnel or in a locked room before lighting a match, could you guess the limits of the space? The end of the tunnel. Darkness extends, devouring everything. It hasn't spread to the organs or the other viscera. How can someone live whose heart is burning? What must they feel? How must they love? Stop asking questions. Let's get finished. Is it the heart that one loves with, as the poets write? Do you not also love with our skin, with our teeth, with our stomach, with our eyes, with our mind? Maybe it can happen like hot wax, which is liquid, becomes rigid when cooled, like a corpse. I have never seen such a black heart before. But the people loved her, and tomorrow they will mourn her passing. I finished spraying mercury ointment on the body. It's dawn. You really should be going. What a pity. She is left alone.
The light that enters through that stained glass window does so every day at dawn, and it will continue to do so for much longer than a lifetime. I am Catherine of Aragon, and I have just been embalmed. How long has it been since I last looked at the sun? Or into someone's eyes? The dawn comes every day, and even after I am gone, and after everyone else has gone, it will still continue to dawn. What is pain amid so much silence? I don't feel pain. I feel nothing. I was born to reign, and I reigned. But now, I am dead. I will imagine the light through the stained glass window. If I close my eyes, I can hear the chords of a distant guitar. My feet can no longer dance, but I can still imagine them. And if I can imagine, perhaps I can also remember. No. My mind no longer holds on to memory. Oh, but my soul still has feeling. My soul is still alive. The intense and brilliant light of Granada, where 1,000 fine sunbeams penetrate the jets of water from the Alhambra Palace. Tiny droplets splashing on my face. Hundreds of small coloured crystals, just like the ones that make up these stained glass windows. Drops, like the tears of the Arab king, Badil, as he surrendered at the foot of the wall of the city of Granada, because he has to abandon it. I still remember the words his mother said to her son, the defeated sultan in battle. Cry like a woman for what you failed to defend like a man. I too feel his pain. I cried a lot when I had to leave Granada. How proud God must have been of such a great defeat. To see the Sultan Badil surrendering at the foot of our armies. And how proud of your holy alliance, my parents. How grateful I am that my countenance was born from your embraces. I grew up with them, among books whose pages smelled like jasmine from the garden of the general life, with rosemary pinned to the neckline of my dresses and the scent of orange and lemon trees. I laughed with them. I sang with them. I cried with them. I learned to be a woman with them. But alone, I travelled to England. And alone, I became queen of a foreign country. The raging storms and seas accompanied me on my solitary journey into the unknown. A distant island where I arrived at the age of 16. The wind blew fiercely, and my dress was soiled from the sand and that beach where rain pooled and fog lingered, forever separating me from the warm scents and colours of my homeland. I can still taste the salt on my lips. Henry! You know something? My lips are dry now. Because I am dead. Did you like my lips moist with the salt from the sea? I forgive you! Out of love. And because I was taught to be a queen forever. Oh, but what does forever mean when you are dead? I still love you beyond life. That is what forever means. Eternal love. If I were the wind, I would fly again to you because I died loving you. Oh, but why couldn't I hate you? Even though I was consumed with jealousy, why couldn't I stop dreaming about you? Even though I imagined you in the arms of another woman and another, why can't I stop thinking of you now? I am already dead! The death of your brother brought me into your arms. He never once looked me in the eyes, nor did we stay in the sheets. Death transports us to other worlds, because now our souls are free. We all die and we all transport ourselves. You know something, Henry? Dancing transports me to another world. One with you. Shall we dance? it true that Anne Boleyn's breasts are firm now, ready to bear your child? They say that cold freezes milk, but what a pity it doesn't snow in August. Tonight, Anne suffered from a fever, and she could not stop vomiting. The fever stung between her brows, and it nests between her temples like a spider, and her eyelids sway like elephants. Anne, you are beautiful. Oh, but you cannot give him a legitimate heir. I am the Queen. My breasts no longer nurse children, nor do they have the firmness to be caressed with passion and desire. But I am the Queen. I am still the Queen, and I still love him. I love him. May a curse haunt Anne Boleyn. Forgive me, Lord. How can soul be jealous? How can I be so free and yet so enslaved that I cannot stop loving him? Henry, you promised me your love and the throne of England. We were lovers, two strangers from different cultures of different ages brought together to govern a kingdom. And at night, we were reduced to our intimate bed, where the folds of the sheets and the edges were the borders that separated us from the rest of the court. And in the solitude of our chamber, we conceived with pleasure 6 children, 5 of them dead. And with each one that died, I lost a part of myself. And I buried each one and gave away a part of my heart. But I still loved you, Henry. And so I survived each of their deaths trying to conceive a new heir, one that would be perfect like his father, a son that would project our love into the history of England and the world. An unfulfilled duty, a dethroned queen, and a woman in love. Is it true that Anne Boleyn makes love to you without her nightgown on? I am the Queen, and I cannot show you my naked body, which was always yours. But you cannot compare me to her. My veins are thick, and my eyes have sunk into my sockets. Please don't look at me. I beg you. Just listen to the sound of my voice. I am the Queen. For whom do I speak when my voice is no longer heard in this world? On one occasion, I saw a wasp drown in a pond. The fault was hers alone because she flew too close to the water. At first, she floated confidently, and then she began to flap her wings, And the more she flapped, the more the water covered her, the heavier she became, and she could not get her wings to protrude above the water. Her body no longer possessed the vigour that it once had, and so, little by little, her stinger sunk, and she was left defenceless to disappear under the ripples. Am I to admit my failure as a queen, as a wife, and as a mother? No! Mary! Mary, my daughter, where are you? What did I do that was so wrong that they would not let me see you? Oh, you are my only legacy. One day, the fate of women will not be solely to bear the heir to the kingdom. You will reign, and you will be honourable in your own right. You will be a virgin queen without the shadow of a man behind you. You will avenge the contempt that your father had for me. Mary, my daughter, a virgin queen born from my womb, independent of any man. Oh, but you wanted so much to give an heir to your husband. You imagined your belly swelling like a flower, bloated with anguish. I want to forget your failure and my failure, but I cannot. My hands are empty. I bring nothing with me. Why won't my soul be silent? Why does it do this to me? Leave me alone! I need silence to rest. Anne bore my only legacy. She gave birth to a virgin queen. Oh, forgive me, my lord. I am sorry that I seek justice for a love-stricken queen even after death. I am sorry. My tears, they no longer wet my cheeks. Take me with you to that place where men and women are the same. There I can forget. Forget. I don't have to forget. Forgive. I only love that music that plays and lifts me like a note of silence in the score. Oh, no more sorrow, no more longing, just nothingness that envelops me from within and without. I am one with the melody, a note of silence floating free, a symphony of love and light, ascending to a new celestial height.
Ave Maria, gratia plena. Benedictus tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis, peccatoribus, nunc et in hora morte nostrae. Amen. Breathe into our souls your grace, O Lord, so that we who have come to know the incarnation of your Son, Jesus Christ, through the annunciation of the angel, may come to know the glory of the resurrection, through the blessed passion and the cross, through Christ our Lord. Amen. What more can this loyal servant do, Lord? What more can I do? I have abided by your laws and commandments. I have prayed day and night. I have fasted on holy days. I have made confession even when I had nothing to confess. I have listened to the advice and instructions of the Pope, even when I was surrounded by Protestants. I have banished your enemies to death, condemned them to hell, Lord, but I, Mary, must surely be your greatest benefactor in England, your most devoted servant. And if pride is now my sin, then I will kneel once more. But my Lord, my God, dare I ask, do not I deserve some consideration for my toils on behalf of your church? How pathetic I have become. How many desperate people will come to you in supplication, and you in all your mercy listen, magnanimous are moved to their wails and laments. You sigh and think these men and women will never learn. Things do not happen at their behest. But Lord, I am dying on this throne. This loneliness is suffocating. It is making my light fade. If ever I had a light of my own. What do you think? I had a dream some night ago. I was in the tower, captive. It was dark, so dark that I could not see the walls. All of a sudden, a light appeared before me, like the shimmer of moonlight across the surface of a pond, and I felt relief, because I thought it was you that had come to rescue me, but no. It was a window, and through it I could hear the calls of the common people. They were cheering the executioner, assembled for a beheading. I dared look. The hooded man held his sword on high. It was aimed at the neck of a woman kneeling before all of England. They insulted her, spat at her. She was a hated woman, one who would be forgotten as soon as her head fell upon the scaffold. The woman seemed to feel my presence and she looked up. And she saw me, and I saw myself, and I tried to flee, to close my eyes, to turn and run, but no matter what I did, she stayed there with the executioner and his sword, which fell. And I could not, Lord. I could not prevent my own death. What have I done? I asked as I awoke, drenched in sweat. What have I done to deserve such an end? Lord, you know the answer, because you know us all through and through, queens and prostitutes. Well, a prostitute may die of syphilis in some filthy alley, but a queen can only die in her bed. If she dies by the sword, she is neither queen nor prostitute. Oh, I'm sorry, Lord. Please forgive me. Please do not heed the sick mind. Perhaps you are not even listening. Better if you didn't. But then if you do not listen, what is the use in praying so earnestly? Or maybe that is the problem. Maybe we pray too meekly, as if in fear, on our knees, heads bowed, waiting to be cut off. Well, then that may be the problem. I must shout, Lord, I asked you not to take my mother from me before seeing her one last time. No, was your answer. I asked to recapture my father's love. No. I asked that my husband would stay close to me. No. I asked that I would give this land an heir. No. I asked that I would at least be a mother, even if it meant no longer being queen. No! Now I ask that you do not let me die alone. As a child, my beloved mother would always tell me that God would send us hardships to endure. But must I really wait until I am by your side before knowing what it is to live? No more hardships, please. No more hardships.
Your Majesty! Your Majesty, I will call for the doctor.
No. I'm fine. I'm just a little tired. You may leave, Magdalene.
Your Majesty, a letter has arrived for you, with the Emperor's seal.
Well, hand it to me. Oh, Philip, you may go, Magdalene. Oh, Philip is returning. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Your Majesty.
Magdalene, I'm down as beautiful as ever.
Thank you, Your Majesty. The Queen will receive you at once.
Ah, yes, the Queen. But how are you?
I am well, my lord. Thank you for your concern.
Have you grown shy in my absence?
No, Your Majesty.
Be careful, my lady. I am the King of England and Ireland, Duke of Milan, King of Naples, King of Spain, Sicily and Sardinia, Lord of the Netherlands and Count of Burgundy. You owe me your allegiance.
Your throne is still smaller than my Queen's.
Always so sharp-tongued. That is why you are my favourite.
The Queen has missed you terribly.
I can well imagine it. I must have 200 unopened letters from her.
She loves you.
And she is a fool. For the love of God, I am related to her. I came only because I need England's help in the campaigns against France, and I need her permission. I am the king, but you English are so distrustful that I may not make a decision about royal or parliamentary consent.
Oh, have pity on her. She has been sick with loneliness. Do not approach her as an ambassador seeking a wife. She's a wife. Be affectionate. Try to give her a son. It would improve things for everyone.
Thought of sharing a bed with her and... Oh. But with you, it is different.
Me, please. You're not due anything if you do not indulge her. Give in to her wishes. Gift her a caress. Steal a kiss. Be tender and passionate as only you know how.
You ask too much.
Promise me you will be good to her. And perhaps I will be good to you.
You will be mine whether you want it or not. But I will satisfy your every desire. I give you my word. I will receive the Queen as a poet, returning from war into the arms of his lover.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Now go fetch the Queen. I detest being made to wait.
You were merely the King of England. Now you reign in the Spanish colonies beyond the Atlantic. You have the world at your feet.
And so do you. You are my wife. You are now also Queen of Spain, like your grandmother Isabella of Castile. Does it not fill you with pride?
Perhaps it might have done at another time. Why are you here?
Why am I here? I live here!
Do you? I thought London was nothing more than a summer residence to you.
More sarcasm?
Forgive me.
No matter, I know you are displeased with me.
Do you?
Of course. A husband should be with his wife. But a wife should understand that the son must come when his father summons him.
Particularly if he is the emperor.
Mary, my absence was necessary. We cannot allow the French Protestants to gain ground.
Agreed.
Just think, for one moment, if Henry II set his sight on these islands.
French Protestantism will never cross the channel.
Do not underestimate him. You must never underestimate France.
Is this your father's teaching?
Yes. You do not take it seriously. Women never take war seriously.
And it is the only thing men do take seriously. In any event, I repeat my question. Why are you here? Is it perhaps because the King of France has stopped supporting the Flemish people?
No. I have come to see my wife. In your letters, you seemed anxious for my return. Well, here I am. Stop pretending. Stop concealing your true feelings from me. What is the matter?
I do not know.
Slide it back the other
Why
way.
are you so surprised? I am your husband.
Oh my goodness.
A husband who has never felt at ease in my presence. A husband who has never looked me in the eye longer than he must. A husband who has been away from home and longer with his wife. Would you have me believe that you miss me in the Netherlands? That you dreamt about me every night and awoke in a state of agitation remembering me? Was it my body you missed? My face? My womb? I know very well I've never been to your liking.
You cannot have any grievances against me.
No, you have never shunned your obligation to Becquesner. You have abided by the marriage contracts and accepted your place in court. I have no reason to complain in those matters.
But
Nothing. It's just the silly concerns of a woman. Go now. I'm sure you have plenty of people to greet.
my queen, do you not understand that I have come back to be with you? Mary, you must think that being here with you is a nightmare for me. That cannot be further from the truth. Do you not recall our conversations before the wedding?
On philosophy?
Yes, Socrates, Plato. Do you remember that night?
No, do not continue.
We had doubts, Mary. You and I had doubts.
We swore never to return to that subject.
But I remember it, because it was a moment shared, something truly intimate between us.
If somebody was to hear of this, that you and I, the great defenders of the Church of Europe, one evening doubted.
God!
Enough silence.
Mary, calm yourself. There is no one to hear us.
God can.
Mary.
Do you not think that I thought of that night? God heard us and he punished me. He must have thought those Protestants were getting to me.
Mary, you must calm yourself. Did we not renounce those doubts the following morning? We confessed, did we not? Were we not pardoned our sins?
Experience tells me that God does not always recognize the Church's pardon.
We human beings are not perfect.
But a queen should lead by example.
Not necessarily in the darkness of the bedchamber.
Philip, I've been so frightened.
I am here now.
This loneliness torments me so much that I cannot think clearly, but maybe with you by my side, a better future may lie ahead, and maybe we can provide an heir for England.
If that would please you and bring you peace, we shall try.
Oh, Philip, I have missed you so.
I know. You should not isolate yourself so, Mary. Loneliness is not good for anyone. What of your sister? Have you made your peace as I counseled?
I do not wish to speak of her.
She is your family. Having her at your side would do you good.
She hates me.
This is untrue. She will think the same thing of you. If you do not speak, things will not change between you.
I had her imprisoned unjustly.
You also set her free.
There was no conclusive evidence of her complicity with the Protestants.
Forget about the Protestants for a moment. Open your heart to Elizabeth. Her youth will brighten your days.
That is your role.
There are things one can only share with a sister.
So be it, I will do it. You always give me good counsel.
I must take my leave now. Politics, Mary, as you know. But tonight, my queen, this night is ours.
Do you not think so, Magdalene?
Oh, I certainly have noticed something.
Something must have happened on the continent. Or maybe his newly acquired responsibilities or his father's abdication. He seems more mature. Well, that must be it. He has finally understood that I am his wife, and that means something, not just to politics, but to God and to ourselves. And he has finally understood the importance of begetting an heir, of becoming a father, and of leaving a spiritual legacy to his offspring. May I be candid with you, Magdalene?
Always, Your Majesty.
As a friend, not as a queen.
But of course.
When I first saw the painting of him by Titian, I felt a stab in my heart. I thought it was love. I cannot think of a better explanation. A sensation seized me, something I have never felt for anyone else. Of course, some may say it was merely the skill of the painter, but when I saw Philip in the flesh, those emotions grew stronger and did not fade. You must think me a foolish child.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Thank you, I am not a child. I know very well he will never feel for me as I do for him, but maybe we can learn to respect one another and learn to be happy. Do you not think so, Magdalene?
I am sure this will be so.
Here you are.
Here we are, together at long last. Let me take the candles. You look worried.
No. Well, yes. However, I do not wish to trouble you now.
Well, tell me, the night is young.
As you wish. I have received a letter from Flanders. The French have come to a new agreement with the Flemish. We need funds to repel the French, but the truth is, my father has left behind enormous debt. I know you think I worry excessively, but I have a real fear that the French Protestants will ally themselves with your enemies here in England.
What do you require?
A loan from England.
Well, then you need worry no more, my love. I will do everything within my power.
Thank you, my lady. Thank you, my queen. Your Highness.
Your Majesty.
If I may say so, you look more beautiful every day.
Do not be such a flatterer, Philip. I am pleased to see you again. What brings you to England?
You play that game too?
What game? Is it not strange to see the King of England in England?
I regret my absence if that has upset you.
Not at all. How did it go with my sister?
Well?
Well, it is rumoured in the court that the moment you were in the presence of your wife, she would have you locked up in the tower.
It did not happen.
I'm happy for you. For Mary. And for all of us. Her character is unbearable when she is despondent. Many heads have rolled in your absence.
I think this morning she rose in a better mood.
You shared a bed.
That is how she wished it. She still insists on bearing an heir.
Marvellous. In a few months, she will claim she is with child again, and she will turn the court upside down with the preparations.
Your sister is sick. She is racked with pains. I could hardly... It was not my fault, but she looked uncomfortable. But she insisted I should continue.
Why do you insist on putting such images in my mind? It is unnecessary.
Do not be jealous, Elizabeth. Bloody wars have started between Catholics and Protestants for less.
Have you come only to pester me?
No. I have spoken to Mary about you. You and your sister must come to an understanding. Your cousin, the Stuart. Do I bore you?
Oh, constantly. Now you speak of my cousin. Why do you not speak about Europe? About the Netherlands? Is it as beautiful as they say? Tell me about Spain. What are the colonies like? I've heard of exotic animals. I've asked Mary to bring some, but my sister is as boring as you are.
This is important,
Yes, speak, and quickly. I have other matters to attend to.
You and I both know that Mary will not leave an heir. If Mary does not consent to name you as her successor...
Scottish Mary will be queen. I know only too well. We have discussed this many times over the past year. The Stuarts get along with the French Protestants, and for a Spaniard, France and England getting along is literally the end of the world.
And for that terrible day never to come...
I have to promise my sister and England that I will renounce Protestantism.
Beautiful and clever.
Stop. Wait a moment. Have you lain with Mary despite your revulsion, so she will name me as her successor?
You yourself said Mary is unbearable when she is despondent.
Your ambition knows no bounds.
You understand the pressure I must bear as King of Europe and of the Indies. All my subjects expect great things from me. Blame me for trying to be a good king. When you become queen, you will understand that wringing your hands does not make for effective ruling.
You bore me again.
Elizabeth, I love you.
You're lascivious. This matches your ambition.
My feelings are sincere.
You will not deceive me.
What must I do for you to believe me?
You can do nothing. Men that amass that much power have no heart. At some point along the way, God renders them insensitive and uses them as the rocks that get thrown in battle.
God. I got angry with God once.
I beg your pardon.
It was that night I met you. It was like when, in spite of being in a hurry, a traveller comes across a beautiful and strange butterfly and stands there, besotted, admiring it. I had been warned about you that even though you were cautious, you prefer your father's religion. A sinner, a heretic, a danger to European Catholicism, I was told. But all I could see was a flower, displaying colours the likes of which I have never before encountered. There are no women like you on the continent. And yes, you may be right. Why did God give me so much power if I could not choose you? Why did he build one wall with two sides so different? They keep us apart. Heaven knows I am no man for conflict or war. For an instant, I ceased to believe in politics and religion. And I did it so that I could dream of a world in which you and I could love each other without obstacles. A place with no God to judge us.
That place is called hell.
I would have gone to hell with you that night. Do you believe now that I really love you?
What I believe is that you must find a confessor to pardon your blasphemy.
God will forgive me. He and I both know that it would have been easier with you. I wish Mary had not been named queen. When any doubt about your loyalty to the Protestants had been allayed, you would have inherited the throne from your brother, God rest his soul. And my father would have given me your hand. We would have married, we would have begotten heirs, we would have been happy. But it can still happen.
Can it? Tell me how.
When your sister dies and you are crowned queen, if you agree, I can marry you. And we can bring peace to the Catholics and Protestants in Europe. We will bring down the wall, Elizabeth, and there will be no more wars.
Catholics and Protestants living in harmony. It sounds good, but I doubt the Pope will be willing to share Europe with the Protestants.
I am the Emperor. The Pope will have to bow to my wishes.
You talk like my father. You cannot really believe what you are saying, unless you really are in love. Remove the blindfold from your eyes. Go back to being the rock God wishes you to be. The wall once raised will not fall, and I do not love you.
You lie!
How dare you?
You hide behind a veil of indifference. You do not want anyone to look beyond your dresses and jewels, but I found a chink in your armor, in your eyes. Through them I can see a heart throb and a chest rise. Look at me and tell me it is not true that you feel something for me.
Do you know what my father did to your wife's mother and to mine? Are you aware of what he did to his fifth wife? I am sure you are. When a little girl learns that men get rid of their wives as if they are old rags, she tends to be wary.
Elizabeth.
No! Do not bother to tell me it would be different with you, because I sincerely do not care. A book of poems. One of them moves me. It talks of a convict about to be put to death, and he tells his beloved what their lives would have been like if death were not about to separate them. Beautiful, but they are just feelings that he hurls into the air in vain, because that man has an appointment with the scaffold, and you and I, we have a duty to the paths that God has laid out before us.
He will find a way to join our fates.
Go ahead. Try. It will not work, and deep down you know it. Stop dreaming of hells and accept the heaven you have been granted.
You cannot silence your heart. You cannot ignore it or stop hearing its fervent beating. You cannot control the flushes of your cheeks. You cannot.
Do not underestimate me. I am capable of ripping inconvenient feelings out of my heart.
You love me.
Go to hell!
I have sent the invitations to the Duke of Northumberland, Cheshire and Staffordshire, but none to the counties that we consider Protestant, of course, or to any whose relatives have been sentenced to death. I do not want them at the celebrations. Besides, even if I did invite them, they'd most likely refuse to attend, and that would cause them even more problems with me. The 30th anniversary of Philip's birth must be perfect and untroubled. I have commissioned a grand banquet. The court's cooks are not enough, so I have engaged the best in the country. There will be music, actors, traditional Spanish entertainment. I do not want Philip just to be comfortable. I also want him to be moved.
And will Elizabeth attend?
Of course. She has accepted the invitation and will sit by my side at the table.
Your Majesty, I am pleased to see you so happy.
God has finally heard my prayers, my dear Magdalene.
When men start to drink, they lose all sense and manners. The shouting starts, and their obsession with hunting, and their quarrelling over who has killed the most beautiful fox. And the women. I cannot bear the Duchess of Somerset. She believes herself a cultured woman, but every single word she utters is nonsense. It is exasperating.
Have you noticed, Elizabeth, the blue sky that God has gifted us with today?
It is true. It is a beautiful day. Seldom can we admire such a sky in these parts. It is the scent of spring.
What is the matter?
Nothing. You will think me foolish.
I know you are not.
I have remembered a happy occasion from my childhood.
Well, tell me which.
I was walking in this very garden. It was springtime, without a doubt. I must have been 5 years old. I was holding my mother's hand. There were some beautiful swans in the pond further along, the one that is empty now. I only wanted to see the swans, but my mother insisted on walking around the whole garden. I thought the flowers magnificent, but I was anxious to see the birds. When we finally arrived at the pond, I let go of my mother's hand and ran wildly to the water. I think she shouted at me to be careful. "Elizabeth, do not get too close to the pond," I could hear behind me. When I reached it, I lay face down on the lawn and watched the swans in the middle of the pond. They looked at me, curious, but they were not afraid. They raised their heads, very dignified. I called to them to come closer, but they fled from the child who kept stirring the water with her little hands. And then I discovered my reflection on the water. I observed myself solemnly. Such a pale face, such lively look in my eyes, the brightness of the sun behind me. I think I became aware of myself for the first time. A shadow came over me. It gathered me up tenderly. I embraced my mother fiercely. I think it is my first memory. For a long time, I thought it was the only memory I had of my mother, but...
Oh, Elizabeth!
She was not my mother. My mother, she must have been dead 2 years when that happened. Dead at the hands of our father. I have no memories of my mother, Mary. I became aware of that. It was like growing up all at once. I've always admired the king, and in many ways I still do, but depriving me of my mother's love, I will never forgive him for that.
That is something we will always have in common.
What was your mother like? What does it feel like to have a mother by your side?
Before the king took her from my side, No, Elizabeth, no. I do not wish to speak of that now. Today is a day of joy, a day of celebration. Come, let us return.
No, Your Majesty, please. I beg you. Let us stay a moment under this sun that cures all ills. Let us not speak of anything if you so wish, but let us stay a while.
They made us hate each other.
I beg your pardon.
They made us become rivals.
Catherine Parr.
Well, Catherine tried to make us sisters again, but it was already too late. And then, of course, Edward did not make things easier.
Do you think we would have suffered as much if we'd have been born in a humble farmhouse, rather than in a fine palace? Have you ever wondered what would have become of us if we'd not have been the daughters of a king?
Countless times.
How are 2 little girls to blame for their parents' disputes?
They are not. But no one is above God's will. But we can try to change things. Put things right. Repent. Or you must forgive me.
I have nothing to forgive you.
I imprisoned you unjustly.
That was the Queen, not my sister. Best to forget that. I have already. Shall we return?
My mother, at night before bed, she would pray and then I would ask her to sing to me in Spanish. She had such a sweet voice that I used to fall asleep right away. And then the following morning she would awaken me herself and we would pray and have breakfast and then she'd supervise my Latin or philosophy classes. And then she'd take me by the hand and we'd go for a walk in the palace gardens and end up by the pond with the swans.
Your Majesty, I find you at last. Elizabeth?
Your Majesty.
You must return with me to the celebrations. The noblemen are beginning to take note of your absence. Did I interrupt something?
No, in fact, do not concern yourself. This is a perfect place for me to give you my gift.
Oh, Your Majesty, which other gift do I need but your love?
Parliament will consider my claims, and if it deems appropriate, England will support your campaign.
If they deem it appropriate, is that all you can do? Forgive me, I am being ungrateful. It is a great gift, and with the help of God Almighty, it will become a blessing. Now, let us return to the festivities. We must drink to this.
You go ahead, I beg you.
As you wish.
I also have a gift for you.
For me?
Should I die without an heir, or if I have one, should he die young, you will be Queen of England. I trust that with God's help, you will restore peace to the land which needs it so. Whatever may happen, I trust that the swans will flock once more to the pond, and that the princes of England will come to see them with their mothers and fathers. Come now, let us return.
Your Majesty.
What is it?
God only knows how it pains me to say this, but...
Please speak.
Philip, you must not trust him. He is an ambitious man without measure. He does not care about you.
I will pretend I did not hear that.
No! Philip, he is manipulative and despicable.
Enough! He is your king, and you owe him respect.
You are the Queen of England. He is a usurper.
Silence! What is the meaning of this sudden dislike? Is it because he is Catholic or because he is Spanish? Which?
It has nothing to do with that. He is lying to you.
Oh.
He regales you with pretty words and promises and memories, but all he wants is your power and the riches of the kingdom. Have you not just seen it with your own eyes?
That is enough!
He was better far from here. Mary, send him away. He will end up hurting you. He will damage your frail health.
Silence, silence, silence!
Mary, wake up. Watch him closely. Do not believe a word he says.
I do not want to hear you!
He loves me. He has confessed it to me, Mary.
And you?
I do not understand you.
Do you love him? I can see it clearly now. It is not because he is Catholic or because he is Spanish. The reason you hate him is because he has stolen your heart and you are jealous when you see him with me.
It is not that, I assure you.
Do not lie to your queen! I know well how the guilty tremble.
Mary, I am only thinking of your well-being.
My well-being? Get out of my sight. Go back to your house. Get out, out, out!
I have warned you about him. That is my gift for the king.
Get out!
Magdalene, come here. I need you. I am your king. If I fall and come to harm, it will be your fault.
Your Majesty, hear what you're falling.
My sweet Magdalene, my son in this land of darkness. Kiss me.
Oh, stop, please.
Do not resist. Why are the beautiful women in the court so difficult to charm?
Because we are respectable.
Respectable, she says. How are you respectable? What makes you different from a whore? Oh, forgive me, Magdalene. Oh, I'm aware I spend the day apologizing. I am sorry. You are a respectable woman, more than anyone in the court. You have had the misfortune of putting up with a foreigner, with his madness, his oddities, and his sorrows. You are very beautiful, Magdalene. It is you who should be queen.
Oh, do not say that.
I say what I like. I am the king, aren't I?
Yes.
Come away with me to Castile.
You have taken leave of your senses.
Wine makes men honest. Magdalene, my heart's desire. Come away with me. I'll be leaving again soon. You will miss me.
You're leaving?
Yes, soon.
But what about the Queen?
The Queen. The Queen should rule. Come away with me and do not make me suffer.
Do not make the Queen suffer.
Stop mentioning the Queen. I have never met subjects as loyal as the English. Enough arguments. Love me. By God, love me. That's a crazy idea, Magdalene. You could bear my son.
It is a crazy idea indeed.
You have not heard the whole idea yet. You bear my son and entrust her to Mary as if he were her own. Her obsession with motherhood would cease, and she would be rid of the veil of sorrow that enveloped her. England would have its future king, and you and I could be free to do as we wished. What do you think? Answer me, you accursed woman!
Shout!
Answer me!
Bastard! A bastard! A bastard cannot rule!
Magdalene!
Your Majesty, please, forgive me. You must understand, I have been weak. The King, I deserve to be punished for this betrayal, but please, do not think of me. Oh my God, do not think that
Do not take the name of God in vain. Now, if you are smart, you will get out of my sight. Go as far as you can. England may be large, but bear in mind we are an island, so mind that I do not hear or see mention of your name again. Because if I do, my crusades against the Protestants will pale in comparison to what I will do to you.
Your Majesty!
Get out!
Mary.
No man has ever loved me. Not even God. I can see that clearly now. My mother used to tell me that my father adored me as a little girl. The great Henry VIII, devourer of women. What is the matter with you men? Are we toys to you? Rag dolls? You tire of one and you discard her into a dark corner. You rip off her head as a sign of virility. What is the matter with you men? You do not know how to love. Have you ever loved? You are swans. That is it. attractive. You go in search of breadcrumbs, but when you find none, you lift your head and wave to other hands in search of other bread. You are animals with neither head nor heart. I understand my father now. In understanding you, I understand my father. Ultimately, I am indebted to you for your behavior.
Mary.
Do not say my name again. If I had a sword, if I had been taught to yield it, I myself would make sure your tongue never moved again. I understand executioners now. I always thought only God-forsaken men could ever sever heads, but no. Every time they do it, they release their burdens. They should allow women to be executioners. What joy! Look at your face, the fear in your eyes. I like it. You have lost all your beauty.
It is the wine.
The wine, of course, let's blame the wine. Judas sold Jesus because of the wine. He possibly justified himself before the Son of God. Oh, I'm sorry, Master, it was the wine.
I am very sorry, I have betrayed. Magdalene means nothing. Only
You
you.
don't dare say it.
Only you are important to me.
And Elizabeth? Is she also important to you? Stop lying! Stop it! You lie over and over again to me, to God, to your subjects, to poor wretched Magdalene, to God only knows who else. Stop it! Enough! I demand that yield! So I release you of your burden. Show me who you really are.
I understand.
Stop understanding. Remove the mask. Be brave. I am your wife and your queen. Show me who you really are.
It is very late and we are very tired. Maybe tomorrow we can talk about it.
God, to me, to your queen, come God!
This is not necessary. Stop!
I swear, if I had a sword, an arrow, a dagger, I would put it through your heart, and I would put the heart into the fire and watch it burn. If you do not face me now, face to face.
Calm yourself. Try not to drive yourself mad. What do you wish me to say?
The truth.
What truth?
Do you love me?
No! No! I do not love you. No. Do you mean to say you love me? Kings do not love. You must know that.
Kings do. Queens do.
That is your problem. Forgive me, but it is so. We are promised to strangers and then we are married. We do not decide, ever, at least not on this matter, forcing something from the heart. Such a powerful feeling.
But so much falsehood for what purpose?
For things to work, for the world to turn. All kings do is shift borders. Sometimes, if we're lucky, we move them forward. Sometimes they move back.
Is that all we are in your eyes?
It is what we are to everyone.
I refuse to
Try it. Marry whoever you want. The soldier, the baker, a Protestant priest.
Do not mock me.
I am sorry, what I am trying to make you understand is that you as a woman and I as a man have needs, which are not always the needs of the kingdom.
I know that well. Do not lecture me. But why not be honest since we have to bear so much burden?
Had I not attended to your feelings, would I have managed to negotiate your intervention before the English Parliament? Has the love you profess for me not helped facilitate my presence here among a people hostile to the Spaniards?
You are a fraud and a manipulator. I despise you!
You love me.
Worst of sins.
Go to confession. Now, Your Majesty, with your leave, the king is tired. Good night.
The Battle of St. Quentin has been a success, I congratulate you. Spain's victories are also England's victories. In the last few weeks I have spoken to you as queen. Today I speak to you as your wife. I have to announce that I am pregnant. Should God wish it, our child will be born early next year. If you need the company of another woman, I will allow Magdalene to return to court. I will sacrifice my dignity for your comfort. Ask of me anything that you wish. Only please do not abandon me to loneliness, gloom, illness, to my dying moments. Have mercy on your wife. You and I are just two souls condemned by our duties. I therefore ask you to come back, Philip. Return soon. You should not refuse me in my condition. Your loving, Mary Tudor, Queen of England. Look, Lord, see how my demented soul is consumed by love, hate and disease. Is this really what you wish for me? To humiliate me before my own husband? What kind of test is this? You have granted me a child, but in exchange I am made to suffer for love. If I could burn these repulsive feelings, hate that man, remove him from my life. If he wants to be far from me, I myself would give him reason to move to the furthest corners of the earth, yet here I am, in my letters, begging him, blackmailing him like a lunatic, because that is what I've become. You have made me into a madwoman. You, yes you, all my life I have been in your service and you have not listened to one of my pleas. Always waiting, always patient. And now you expect me to stay silent because I am granted the gift of motherhood. Well, no! Listen carefully. I do not want to love. Rip my heart out, I do not care. I do not want to love. Oh, free me from this senseless hell, for I have not sinned. I have been a virtuous Catholic and do not deserve to be punished like this. I command you, let me live in peace with my child. Make me ill. Make all the parts of my body ache until I am reduced to nothing. I would prefer to scream out in pain, and my arms and legs amputated rather than to continue to wander like a ghost or for a man. And how cruel to do this to a woman. But you are a man. The first. The one who commanded that women should go out and sin and suffer and love. No. Love is the beginning. For love we sin, and for love we suffer. We lose our good sense. And we end up in a dark hole of folly from which no one can escape. No queen, no prostitute, no slave, no peasant. And how hideous. You have also granted me light, wisdom, and because I know the true meaning of love, I am even more unhappy. I thank you, Lord, for the gift you have given me.
cry.
Mother?
What's the matter, my little girl?
Mother, is that you?
Rise! Your knees are for your subjects. Yours are for God. Only let me look at you. Come here. Oh, you are so pale. And those shadows under your eyes, you never could sleep well.
Only when you sang to me.
That's right.
Please sing to me.
You are too old for lullabies.
I do not know what I am anymore. I'm shattering like a mirror. My body is broken on the floor.
You are strong.
No.
Of course you are. I brought you up with strength of spirit.
Little bit it didn't.
Raise your head. You are the queen.
I know, Mother, I know. But the crown is too heavy. You have taught me all a queen should know, but I am also a king.
Raise your head. You are the queen. Oh, my girl. Do you know what it was that gave me strength when I was confined at Kimbolton? You gave me strength. I imagined the day of your birth over and over again. Your first steps. And now you are the queen.
Your words always bring me comfort. Mother, I'm going to have a child, but I'm so scared. I'm scared of these winds. I'm scared of these walls that are closing around me. I fear that Philip will never return.
Oh, we all have such fears, my girl. But just remember, God is merciful. He will walk beside you.
I fear I have lost his protection.
Never. Never. He will never leave you. He loves you. He loves you. Remember that.
Please never leave me.
Never.
Please sing to me as if I were but a child who wishes to sleep long and deep.
I never could deny you any of your wishes, my little girl.